Hey everybody, it's Kellen Nitro for Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel, and this is my recap of the Royal Rumble. That's right, January 28th, 2018, from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Man, what a show. Starting with the pre-show, not a whole lot to talk about the pre-show. The 205 Live 6-man was pretty good. Revival going over on the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows. Kind of a revenge thing from the Raw 25 debacle, I guess. You know, good for them to do a redo, I guess. And then the US Open Challenge with Bobby Roode and Mojo Rawley, which was actually a pretty competitive match for the US title. I did enjoy that one. It was a good little scene setter for the night. The opening contest, surprisingly, was the WWE Championship match. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Man, uber competitive matchup. They actually made the handicap thing work pretty good. With free talents like that, it's hard for it not to. A very solid match. AJ retains and goes forward to Mania. Who would he face? Well, we'll find out a little bit later on, because the Royal Rumble would happen a little bit later on in the night. But yeah, it's a solid opener. In hindsight, we were scratching our heads at the time why it was the opening bout, but it ends up being the opening bout for a reason, and a pretty good scene set for the night. So kudos, great stuff. SmackDown tag titles, 2 out of 3 falls. Benjamin and Gable versus the Usos. That match itself, I don't think really needed to be a 2 out of 3 falls match. I think that was kind of a stipulation added for added intrigue last minute with the storyline and that. So I wouldn't have gone that route with them. I think maybe just a straight up no DQ match would have been great just to see. But those two teams can really work in the ring, especially the Usos kind of taking some movesets and such from the Young Bucks with the super kick parties and stuff and everything. I know that they've been doing it as well, but it's almost very interesting, especially in a group setting in which I was watching the pay-per-view tonight and seeing exactly what all was happening. But you know, it was just one of those things. It was a very watchable, very passable television match. I don't think it held up much for pay-per-view, so you're gonna get a few of those once in a while. So Usos retain, right on, going to Mania. They are a strong tag team for SmackDown Live right now, and yeah, wait to see what the future holds. The Men's Royal Rumble, a few surprises in it. I don't want to go through all of them, but the surprise I really like was seeing Mysterio back into the fold. Who remains to be seen if it was a one-off or if he's actually back in for good on one of the brands leading into Mania or something. So, but Nakamura winning the Royal Rumble match, and then immediately right after calls out AJ Styles, and the IWC going, yes, we finally get that rematch from Wrestle Kingdom a few years ago between the two of them. It was their last New Japan match, and it's looking like it's going to be a definite semi-main for New Orleans in the Superdome coming up in April on the 8th for WrestleMania. So, you know, it's out there. So definitely Nakamura, Styles, it's happening. Kudos. Good Rumble match. Great pacing, great surprises. Rusev is over. We've established this. And Heath Slater being the kind of tin can as people were just kicking him on the way to the ring and that stuff was very good. Kofi again blows everybody's mind with another spot, you know, where he's eliminated, but the pancakes save him. That's you know, probably the most memorable, or the more memorable moments of the match for me. So this cowboy enjoyed it. I thought it was one of the better Rumble matches I've seen in the past few years. So, and Roman didn't win, so hey, everybody should be happy with that, right? The Raw Tag Team title match between Rollins, Jordan, I almost said Gable, but it's Jordan. Rollins and Jordan versus the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Again, another passable television match. Both tag matches tonight were just kind of looked like they were lacking that kind of like that. Rollins was in the Rumble, got tossed out by Roman Reigns. Yeah, Roman Reigns probably towards the end of the Rumble and that stuff. Also debuting brand new gear tonight with kind of a Jake the Snake Roberts-esque flame job on the tights. A very cool look. Yeah, again, these two tag matches would have been passable for any television show during the week, but Royal Rumble has got to be a little bit more special. So, sorry guys, I'll have to take a pass on that one. But the story coming out of it, the storyline will be fun to watch with the Bar regaining the tag titles, and now there's that kind of clashing between Rollins and Jordan now, because Jordan, feigning the whole head injury thing during the match and such, and Rollins isn't going to take that line down. Rollins loves gold and everything like that. So is that a potential WrestleMania pairing? Probably for the undercard. It should be a good match. People are already starting to hate Jordan, so go full heel with him, might as well. And the triple threat match for the WWE Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar retaining over Strowman and Kane. Just big guys with weapons. That's all it was. Again, this one to me too is kind of he did something. Well, there was a triple threat a few years ago. I can't remember who all was in it. It was Lesnar, Rollins, and it was when Rollins was WWE champion, I think, or going into it. I want to say it wasn't 16, definitely. Let's say 15. So maybe he was challenging. I can't remember for sure. But it was, because the night, it'd have to be 15 because the night after was the night of the snow out of Monday Night Raw, the infamous snow out of Monday Night Raw. But it's just kind of a crutch to get Lesnar something booked, in my opinion, and give him something for the Royal Rumble when he's not in the Royal Rumble match itself. So, hey, it did the job. It was a spectacle, but just broken stuff and weapons and big dudes doing drop kicks, which by the way is impressive as hell, does not a good championship match make sometimes, in my opinion. So I'll take a hard pass on that one tonight. But it was at that point we were all getting amped up for the women's Rumble, and that was what was next. And of course, the main event, the surprise main event of the show, the Women's Royal Rumble match, which was won by Asuka, but all the returns. Kind of a cool little walk down memory lane of talent that came in. You had Jacqueline, you had Tori Wilson, you had Lita come in. You had, even the girls, kind of the next generation from NXT, the TD, Kairi Sanes, the Ember Moons of the world. Come into the match and have very strong accountings of himself. And Asuka, pardon the pun, kicking ass and getting the Duke. They go to the selection ceremony because when the men's Royal Rumble was done, they had a selection not so much a selection ceremony, but they had Renee Young come to the ring and ask Shinsuke which championship he would go after, either WWE or the Universal Championship, and he emphatically said AJ Styles. So right then and there, you realize, okay, SmackDown Live's got their main event set for WrestleMania. That's what they're going for. There'll be some involvement, right? So good little tease with that, because you had Alexa Bliss and Charlotte at ringside. They both come into the ring. Asuka standing in the ring with them, and right when you think Asuka's going to make her decision, she's sizing them up and down and whatever like that. I think she was kind of leaning towards Charlotte myself a little bit. Maybe that was just false pretenses or whatever. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts hit. And it's bad reputation, and any longtime UFC fan would know whose music that is. And you look on the Titantron, and it's Ronda freaking Rousey walking to the ring and shaking hands with Asuka, staring down the two champions, going over to Stephanie McMahon, shaking hands, and just waving at the crowd and that stuff. And then you look on social media saying that she's signed a full-time deal. So obviously she's going to get involved somewhere down the line. Whether now that's Asuka versus Rousey at Mania, whether that's a Charlotte versus Rousey, or Alexa Bliss versus Rousey, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We still didn't get a clear decision, obviously, tonight on what direction Asuka's going to go with the belt at Mania, I guess. If she's a Raw superstar, she would be probably the safe bet, the safe money bet would be if she signed to Raw, she'll be going after Alexa Bliss in the Raw Championship. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. That's a great little cliffhanger, though, to end the show. Awesome show. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Again, could have done without the 2 tag matches. You know what? I would have substituted that U.S. title match for one of the tag matches, because that U.S. title match had enough merit to kind of stand on its own. It was a really good match between Raleigh and Bobby Roode, and Bobby Roode was over like Rover with the Philly faithful, so it's awesome. More importantly, this is an awesome kickoff to this road to WrestleMania. This is going to be a fun WrestleMania, I think, to see what happens, because, man, we got some pretty interesting names we're dealing with. Anyways, I'm Kellen Nitro. Later days, happy wrestling watching. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share this video around, and help me out. Just trying to build a community here. Maybe one day we'll get up to 1,000 subs and get some of that YouTube cash flowing in to do some stuff. But for right now, hey, I just love watching the shows and talking to you guys about the shows. So, and look for us online, wherever, Twitter, Facebook, you name it. And that damn furnace keeps kicking in and out, so time for me to leave. See you guys.